Hello and welcome to another episode of the After the Whistle podcast. My name is Kale. I'm joined today with Corey, Smiley, and Crack. And Charlie, we got special guest for the building inside today. Like this guy on your airwaves regularly, Monday to Friday on Citi FM. Sometimes they appear for Sports Panorama. Sometimes they appear for scorecard. Like Charlie, boys guy. We get Nketsia with me. Charlie guys, I beg. Round of applause for Nketsia. I beg. Clap, 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 clap.
Clap, clap, clap,
Thank
clap,
you,
clap,
thank you,
clap,
thank you,
clap,
thank you,
clap,
thank you,
clap.
thank you. Charlie,
Welcome,
Ben, how are
welcome,
you?
man.
Bezo, you hype me, Papa. I don't know all those things about the
Charlie, we forgive guys some applause for here. We give guys some applause for here, Charlie. So this week's episode will be really focused on the African Games, which should be starting in the city next week, on the 8th of March. We spoke about it about 2 weeks ago, talking about the facilities which were being set up and built and put together. I think Kawa has even expressed some concern seeing whether it to be finished, but it seems that Baltimore is done now. Legon should be done as well. We should be expecting good enough representation from various countries as well as ours in various disciplines. Some will be Olympic qualifying events, some will be non-qualifying, and some will be demonstrations. So this episode is really going to be focused on that. If we have enough time, I think we'll talk a little bit about results from the weekend. I know Smiley really just a shaky head in this belief. But Charlie, Ben, I think I'll start with you. Given that you guys have been reporting this and covering this for some time now, could you give us like a general sense of how the games have been prepared for so far? If you've heard anything about from any athletes so far, who we should look out for, and all that. We'll get into the nitty-gritty as the episode goes on.
Well, yes, thank you guys for having me again. So, the games have been postponed a year actually. So this was supposed to happen last year, which is why I find some of the unpreparedness a little shocking. So we're supposed to have put our house in order in that time span, but it began how we did, so it'll be cool. We'll take it in our stride and see if it works out. Basically, like you said, the main centers for the games are Boteman and Legon. So Boteman is the main games village. They've spent quite an amount of money getting the facility together. Let me see if I can pull up the list of the disciplines that will be happening in Boteman, just so you have a good idea. So yes, so at Boteman you would have arm wrestling, you have boxing, they have handball, they have taekwondo, weightlifting, badminton, swimming, tennis, volleyball, table tennis, basketball, and fencing. So that's what's happening at Boteman. And then a couple of the sports will also happen. Yeah, fencing day. There's a fencing federation in Ghana, just in case you don't know.
Wait, I'm sorry, what now?
A fencing federation. They have a whole federation.
You people they can't
Where they
show
get
this whole
office?
episode. You people they can't show
Wait,
this
they get
whole
office or
episode.
what? They get office.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Where
they get
receptions did
office.
it?
Everything. They have everything. So there's fencing in there. Then when you go to University of Ghana, so that's the games village. Like I said, they are expected to house like 5,000 athletes. They're going to use a couple of their hostels, and then I think the newly built ones, a couple of the ones that were built on the outskirts. So there's rugby, athletics, squash, and football going to happen. There's some bit of the football going to happen at the Cape Coast Stadium as well. So those are the disciplines for Legon. There's field hockey, which will be happening at the National Hockey Pitch. The hockey stadium is a hockey stadium, really. It's not in the best of conditions. They've tried to patch it up. I think they've done enough to be able to have it hold up for the competition. There's also cricket. Cricket will be held at Motown. So Achimota will host cricket. The last time I checked, that was not done. I think they were finishing up the roofing on it. They should be done by now. It's been about 3 days. So probably have to run a check again. But the last time it wasn't done, they probably like in the concluding stages. And then I spoke about chess and Scrabble. Those will happen at Alisa Hotel. So then there's the Bukum Boxing Emporium as well. We'll also host a couple of the disciplines. So like I said, typically minus the water sport where you'd use the country's natural water bodies. Most of the events happen in one big like stadium, a multi-purpose stadium where they have basically everything, but we don't have that here. So our stuff is scattered all over the place. The LOC have provided what looks like a map to help visitors, journalists, and people coming in to be able to navigate like the various sports and discipline centers. And so that just came into the portal that I am on. And so I'll probably share that with you in a bit. So that's what's going on. I think they are putting their act together to make sure that at least by the 8th of March, some of the stuff that they hadn't put together has been done. But again, I'm sure you ask as we go. So let me just leave it here for the intro.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that. So given that we've come off the back of two, I want to say internationally recognized sport events. That was the World Cup 20 right in Qatar, and AFCON, which just finished. You know, our athletes have seen what it means to represent their their home nation, right? Who should we be looking out for in the various disciplines, and you know, are they even prepared, if you've spoken to them at all?
It's think about who we should be looking out for. I was surprised Azamati and Joe Paul actually declared to take part in the All African Games, because the financial rewards are typically not a lot, but also, like you mentioned, there are qualifying events and non-qualifying events. So some of them stand the chance of qualifying for the events they'll be participating in at the Olympic Games if they do put up a good show here. So obviously, those are two of the guys to look out for. You can talk about Deborah Aqua. I spoke about her a while earlier. She's been through the mill. Now, Deborah Aqua didn't actually make it. Which is kind of sad. I mentioned her earlier. I just went through the list. She didn't make it, which is sad because I've been covering her since she was in high school. She's played basketball. She's played field hockey. She's made it on multiple levels. I think she's the current record holder for high jump, but due to some reasons, she's not going to be able to come out here to compete. I mentioned Hor Haluti as well. I'm happy to see her here because her manager was Master Richard. She burst onto the scene some years ago, won gold at the Youth Olympics, became a national asset, and then she almost became like a political tool. Everybody was trying to get a piece of her. She went to school in the United States. She's been all over the place. She's partly pro, partly works now. So she's resurfaced to take part in the women's relay races. So it's good to see Hor Halutier in the mix. Those are three standout prospects to look out for. Most of the other prospects that we have currently are not really star names that you can put a spotlight on because they haven't really done much. But I think we can progress the conversation and say that a lot of them are school prospects for him. But what typically happens is when the Ghana Athletics do their competitions, they pick prospects from the various high schools and some of the universities as well. So a lot of the prospects are not guys that we've typically heard of, but waiting to explode, if I can put it that way.
So given that we've given that you've spoken about prospects and things which we should look out for, and putting aside the local organizing committee because they had to get the facilities ready and all that.
Yeah.
Is there any athletes that you've spoken to in terms of how they prepared for it? You know, what they have planned should they win any medals? You know, leading up until the Olympics next year, what their dreams and aspirations are. You know, if the Olympics be this year. God damn.
It's literally what our doctor really. The Olympics can't finish.
Yeah.
So what's happening is James Dancy's in here. I forgot to mention James Dancy. James Dancy is currently the national 200-meter record holder. Yeah. So when Paul broke the record a couple of months after, Dancy came in and smashed that record. So he's a product of Agri Memorial. Went outside the country not too long ago. I think he's at Texas A&M. He's one of those guys who's like looking to really do well in this competition. He picked up an injury during the World Athletics, and so he couldn't put himself out there the way he wanted to. And so a lot of those guys are looking at this as an opportunity to be able to make up for the lost time and also possibly qualify for certain events that they are hoping to participate in at the Olympics. So James is definitely one to look out for. Incredibly fast guy. He's new on the scene. And so I think he's one of those guys to look out for. One other thing I noticed that caught my eye was the coaching team. So you have Ignatius Geza. Ignatius Geza is a triple jumper from back in the day. Now, if you've been following his story, he decided to switch nationalities to represent the Netherlands. So I was surprised when I heard that he had been named as part of Ghana's coaches. That was very shocking for me. I'm hoping to catch a conversation with him about how that came about and how the dynamics are working. Eric Nketsia is in here as well. Eric Nketsia is a national athlete. He's a contemporary of Aziz Zakari. Back in the day, they used to compete on the national scene. He never made it to an Olympic final, but he was big back in the day. So the coaching team looks definitely good to me. I think that those are a few of our bright spots. We have athletes who have like good international level experience who have been drafted in as coaches. So hopefully that will help in our lack of preparation, because one of the things that hurts us the most, especially when it comes to athletics, is it's just like the Black Stars. We need to import most of our guys from outside the country. So people who are competing in the various schools where they've obtained scholarships to attend. Those who train in Ghana are the high school prospects and also the uni prospects. But up until 2 weeks ago, we didn't have a proper tartan track in this country. And so really, what were they doing? You are training and hoping that when the properly certified or the internationally certified tracks come along, your skill can adjust. And that's another tricky thing. So guess what? You think that because you've been playing on the rough pitches or in the rough tracks, all of a sudden when the quality tracks come, your skill level will translate. But it doesn't really work that way, because you are not used to these Mondo tracks. These are something you need to get used to over a while. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying that, look, first of all, the facility should have been finished earlier. Our athletes should have been given enough time to have prepared. And they were camping in Cape Coast at UCC. The minister visited them, where he said that they have been given 4-star treatment in terms of provided with everything to be able to prepare to win Ghana medals. I mean, that's honestly
so it just be PR.
Of course. I mean, you talk to the athletes themselves, and it's hard because resources don't abound like that. That's why you get upset when the Black Stars waste all the nation's money and don't have anything to show for it. So there's that as well. But generally, it's in Ghana, when it comes to these competitions, it's more to do with personal determination to want to show up. Hopefully a sponsor can pick you up, and then you can take it out from there, because a lot of them, if it comes to actually depending on the state or the resources we have there to be able to develop their skill, it's not going to happen.
So my thing about training athletes for these type of things, and like even just generally having the facilities for these type of things, I always wonder, why don't we copy like the Kenyan, Ugandan model? Because from what I've read about them, what they tend to do is that they take people from like their armed forces and those other like military or paramilitary institutions, because they already have ready facilities available. Like in any case, if you're in the armed forces, if you're a policeman, if you're in immigration or whatever, you're already training regularly for stuff. So they just build facilities for them, so that in any case, as an athlete, most of them are part-time. So on the side, if naturally for your job, you're supposed to keep fit, and you have facilities ready for them, because the armed forces, they already have LWAC, even though they've allowed LWAC to run down completely.
Just say Consensus Day there, that'd be all.
But like, I always wonder why we don't copy that model, because I feel like that's like it's an easy way to keep people fit and ready for these type of tournaments. Like,
actually, the security forces are in there. They have supplied a couple of the athletes in there, not as dominant as they used to be, because what used to happen back in the days that they used to have what you call the CESA games. So everybody's participating. Now it's non-existent. So a lot of the games that they participate in is recreational. When it's not recreational, it's just a few of them. So I know the basketball people are pretty serious. SEPs, prisons, hockey still do their thing, but it's not consistent enough. And a lot of them are like prospects who have been competing for like the longest time. A lot of them are and above the ages that you expect for something like this. Because look, if you are an athlete and you're past a certain age, you can't kid yourself that you're going to compete with guys who are 22, 21. They are going to run rings around you. And it's been happening with, for instance, our Olympic boxing team. I'll give you an example. There's a guy in there called Suleimana. He's been the captain of the Black Bombers for a while. He's competed at about 3 editions. At this point, he needs to hang up his gloves. But there's some politicking in there that means that most often than not, he gets a shot at the qualifiers. And so you either qualify via a bye or some technicality and you pass to the team again. But you see, when you keep taking these type of people to competitions, you get exposed because the other countries are doing a lot more scouting, which you are not doing, and you are hoping to basically pick up from the low-hanging fruits. So Suleiman has been with us for a while. Let's take him to the games. It doesn't happen like that. You need to properly work on your athletes if you expect them to get to a certain level. Now, if you look at the All African Games and our averages, Team Ghana is like currently averaging, I believe, around between 12 and 15 medals per the last 3 competitions. The countries we are trying to catch up with, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, they are averaging like 60, 70 medals per competition. And so that is like a very big gulf that you're trying to close. And the thing about us is after every tournament, we do a lot of PR or competition. We talk about how we want to win medals. And so we're going to prepare. We never actually prepare. And then before you know, the next batch of games are upon us again. And so here we are again, go and win us medals. But really, what have you done to ensure that they go and win the medals?
So, Ben, I wanted to touch on what you're talking about in regards to the military personnel and basically servicemen who have been selected to perform in these type of games. I thought like we had a structure, like Intercall was a thing when we're in SS. Where like we get some guy be with that they run track and field, that they run fast. Some guys they do high jump, some guys they do javelin, so. I thought like there was an actual plug from either the government side or a body that is actually tracking these potential athletes that they can represent the country. So you don't always have to go and wait for somebody who's doing a 9 to 5 outside, who's running in the evening, using the track in the evening somewhere to now come and represent the country. Like what happened to that kind of thing? Well, that kind of system.
Okay, so the system still exists. It's a school system, really. It's a high school school system. I think it's been interrupted a little since COVID. It's not really been the same. There's just been a lot of truncation to a lot of their programs. But like I mentioned, there's been a lot of change in that sector generally. So what used to happen was that the schools work in conjunction with the Ghana Athletics Association. So what happens is at Intercall, for instance, GA officials are there, school officials are there. So if you pick somebody from, say, Ogasco and he does well, what happens is he enters into the database of the Ghana Athletics Association. And then what they had were competition they used to call the Open Championships. So they used to have like 3 or 4 of them in a year in like different cities around the country. And then they would select some of the best of them. You get prospects from Busa Games, you get prospects from inter-halls and the universities. And so the system is still there. It's just slowed down a little because of COVID. But like I said, now the Ghana Athletics Association have rebranded into Ghana Athletics. And so that's also the lowdown with the structure of what they do. Now, what happens is when they extract the students from, let's say, a high school or a university out here, what they do is they basically let you know that if you are hoping to develop your talent in GoPro, Ghana is not the place to do it, and so you have to leave the country. So most of them go to school. Yeah. They let you know it be keep it real thing. So they go out there. I think some of the places that have become hot for Ghanaians is the West Coast. A couple of them have gone to West Arizona, I think. Have guys USC, think a couple of people have also gone down to Texas. So Texas has been a good spot for a lot of our athletes. So they get scholarships, they go to school, they represent the athletics world. If you are good enough, you'll be lucky to get a sponsor that will be able to hold you up after you're done with school. If your talent level does not merit sponsorship, then you know what to do. You need to start looking up to the masters or finding a 9 to 5 to do. And so for somebody like Samati, I think he has a couple of good sponsors. He signed with A6. He has an eyewear company that sponsors him. I've forgotten their name specifically. They are pretty big when it comes to track. So somebody like that has gotten into the professional scene, but that's like 1 out of 10 when you talk about Ghanaian prospects. So the school system does exist. I'll give you an example. Another example was Nadia Ike. She was competing. Nadia is like, I thought Nadia would be able to fund her own way throughout the system. And that just tells you how expensive this is. Nadia went to Colombia. And so I thought that, wow, went to Colombia, you have pretty much, good support system to be able to hold you up. She tells me that there's as much as you can do with your own money. Because if you are going to, let's say, prepare for World Athletics Championships, you need to travel to like various meets. Probably cost you like $5,000 to $10,000 per meet, and you're not going alone. These things you're traveling with nutritionists, your coaches, and they all need to be catered for. So these things are expensive. So the school system does exist. It's just not as well oiled as you'd expect it to be, but a good bulk of the athletes that we get in our national teams are definitely off from the school system. Majority of them. Then you get the outliers from the security system.
And another thing that I noticed in the whole, I saw a schedule of like where the different disciplines will be taking place. Like swimming is taking place here, tennis is taking place here, and I noticed that like it's scattered all over. Like there's some taking place at Boteman, there's some taking place at even Conference Center, there's some at Alisa Hotel, there's some at Cape Coast. Like, is it normal? Because it's usually these things is like Accra 2022 or Accra 2023. Olympics is Paris 2024.
London.
So it's not a Ghana thing, it's a city thing. Yeah. So it's very strange. Someday Motown and things or like, is it normal?
And that just tells you what kind of system you're operating in. I mean, the moment you start having games been happening in different cities, you know you're in the pits. And that's where we are as far as infrastructure is concerned. Ideally, everything should be happening in Accra. You are allowed to have disciplines happen in like different arenas. That's normal. But again, even for that, for most cities, you realize that for Paris, they'll have like a main arena where a lot of the disciplines will be happening, and then a couple of them will happen at scattered centers. But that's the situation of Ghana, because the football ideally should have taken place in at least 2 different grounds in Accra. But the grounds in Accra are barely good for CAF matches. In fact, just a heads up, I think there's coming a time where the Accra Sports Stadium can't host any game again, and Mobile might not be able to host any game again at all, because they've been given a special pass in the past couple of games that have been played there. Depending on the category of CAF game that you're playing, Gabaya will not be able to host the CAF game very soon. And so that's something to look out for. But as things stand now, these are the challenges that we are dealing with, because the Accra should be able to hold literally everything we are doing. But since Accra can't do it, we've been granted special passes to be able to do this. In 2019, when Morocco did this, was in Casablanca. They did everything in one city. And the irony is that Morocco were not even the original host of the tournament. They took up the competition last minute and still managed to host it as if they were the original host of the competition. So you look at what they did, you look at what we have done, and we say that we have $48 million for operational expenses. And I'm asking myself, what exactly would that money be doing?
V8. Look, this thing, the more they listen Benjamin, the more they listen Benjamin, the more my heart they come, because I live in West Legon, and so
when they get to the bullshit right now.
Yeah, no, I pass the stadium every day, bro. Like I pass the Legon Stadium. I pass the infrastructure they've been putting up. There's a hockey field, or some field. They told me it was a hockey field when I asked the sports department. There's a hockey field opposite the banking hall or whatever. They've brought, I don't know whether it's grass or whatever they want to put on it. They've brought it in rolls. It's been lying there for about like 2.5 months. I'm saying, so nobody
True.
will feel installed this thing. Every time I pass the stadium, they tested the lights for exactly, I think, about 6 days or something like that. You're hosting a tournament, like you're hosting African Olympics essentially, and this is the level of preparedness. Like, it makes no sense to me. As of 2 days ago, Brady they started paint parking lines for the stadium and outside. Like, bro, like
those roads they built towards Boteman, they're now painting and all
sense.
this.
It makes no sense. We've had
if you be parking lines alone in the paint, you go take them like that. Because parking lines they don't
right?
like that. But to do
that's
parking
what I
lines
want to
alone
ask.
is like trouble.
That's what I want to ask Benjamin. I want to ask him. He's been inside the stadiums and things and knows more about the preparedness level, because from what I've seen, I did fear give me the embarrassment levels. Like, these people are embarrassing us worldwide. Like, it's an embarrassment. If you're telling me you need 48 million for operating expenses and this is what you're producing, I mean, are we is something wrong? Like, there's something fundamentally wrong. So I want Benjamin to just give us some light on the level of preparedness from his perspective, from a journalistic perspective.
I think that I think that the Boteman complex is pretty much done. The parking lines, by the time you go make ready to watch your first one, then they paint finish, make it dry, so make it no shake. But what really bothers me is what I mentioned in the prelude to the main discussion, that ideally when you have a new facility, you test it for 3 months. So you test and then you even retest. That's what the serious countries do. They do like 2 tiers of test, and then they do all the patch-up work before the main competition starts. What we did on Wednesday was, I think it was from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. We had the athletes, we had a couple of high jumpers run like simulations so we could ascertain what it was. Guess what? After the time this was being done, the warm-up tracks had not been marked. So from parking tracks to warm-up tracks, the warm-up tracks had not been marked. And so it was a little crazy. And then I saw that the warm-up tracks had actually started wearing out because there was a little problem. The batons or the barricades that were being used to demarcate that basically separates unauthorized stuff from authorized stuff had been placed on the tartan tracks, and I started like cutting little holes in the tracks. The tracks are barely 3 weeks old, yes. And so, I mean, these things are all little indicators. Like I say all the time, how you do everything is everything. I mean, how you do something is how you do everything. So if they are treating warm-up tracks like this, it just gives you a good idea of, I mean, the main picture in terms of what is happening. And so as for the University of Ghana Stadium, they started building it from the first time. So I'm happy that they finished. At least they finished. And the good news we are hearing is that they won't hand it over to the National Sports Authority. So that's more reason to celebrate. It will be handed over to the school itself. And so, yeah, so that's some good news there. The stadium, for most parts, is complete. You just need to hope and pray that due to the lack of testing, nothing unexpected shows up sequence. That's what it is. But as far as the building bit and all those things are done. I mentioned that the cricket dressing room at Achimota was not fully done the last time I checked, but that was 3 days ago. I haven't gone back to check since, so I'm sure they probably patched it up. So there's that as well. And yeah, little things like that. Generally, if we are talking about preparedness, I'd say on a holistic level, we're like 80-85% prepared, but that's dangerous.
Hey, Benjamin, you sure the number you call it high?
See.
Oh, I mean, look, the Boteman and Legon are like the main centers for the games, and those ones are ready in terms of the things that I've seen. So if those are ready, it means that we're almost there. But like I said, for competitions to be successful, those are not even the most important things. The most important things are how you are coordinating the transportation, information flow, people who are coming to watch, like that kind of thing. Those are
you get your accreditation.
Those are the kind of things that determine PSS. So I get the notification. I pick them up. They were asking people in Ghana for flight plans and stuff like that. You see, those are the little things. We will sort out those things in between, so those things will happen.
No, but honestly, like even the 80% you talk, it's even making me more like worried because for a major international tournament, 80% when the tournament is starting in about a week or so.
5 days.
That's
5 days,
very
bro. 5 days.
5 days. That's actually terrible. Like you're supposed to be ready like 3 months before, and like you're saying, do a lot of testing, make sure everything is in order. It's not the exam way. As long as you submit before the time catch, then everything is good. Like you have to be ready way before the
Yeah,
days
yeah.
comes. So it's
And
it's
then
it's
there was a point
actually
where, yeah, there was a point where I thought Ghana was actually going to ditch this thing because we didn't look like we're ready. And we didn't have the air of seriousness
You
about us. When you
you
look at like a
you
team or a country that hosts a competition, there's a certain level of
you
seriousness
you
that you expect. But we didn't have it, and we still don't have it. I feel like now the media has been making a lot of noise. We've been going at them on social, we've been on platforms telling them that look, this isn't how to do it. So they are picking up like scraps from those little episodes and trying to patch things together. But that's not how it should be. And if things are looking like that from the get-go, you know that really anything could happen. But I'm saying that because it's an international competition, me, I want the best for us. I'm hoping that the mishaps we will have are the little customary mishaps most competitions face and not anything monumental that global journalists can report on literally embarrass all of us.
you see
Charlie,
I think we
any
may
of the
need that.
I get one question. I get one question.
Go on.
Any of the executives do anything sports related on the local organizing committee?
Oh yeah. So Dr. Kweku Fuswasar is a veteran colleague of ours. I was a little boy when he was rocking shoulders with Kwabena Japan and Kwabena above them. So he knows about this industry pretty well, and he's been
Okay.
the LOC board. Dr. Kweku is the
Executive chairman.
communications director, executive. He's on the board basically. Yao Sechi is head of sponsorship. So I mean, there are a couple of sports people in there. You want to trust that they know what they're doing. But then the interesting bits you need to know about these things is it's not just sports. It always crisscrosses with politics. And so the countries that do it well, I've noticed, they manage to marry the politics properly with the sports administration bit of it. Those that don't do it well, you can tell that there's a disconnect
we don't have to
between the
marry
sports
anything.
administrators in terms of the plans that they are trying to execute and the politicians in terms of what they are also trying to get out of it. And so that's
Can you
where
hear
it
me?
can be a little slippery. If we can get that balance right, we should have
Hear
a
me?
decent competition.
So, Kyo, when I want to ask Benjamin something. You covered Qatar. You saw the standard. I want to say Qatar is a little far-fetched because money day and they don't steal like that. But dude, I don't know. I only see signs of this game outside of the stadium. That's the only signs I've seen anywhere. The anything about the games. When you come from the airport like this, is there any signs of Ghana hosting a major tournament? Like when you compare this to Cannes 2008 or whenever we hosted that thing, and yeah, you see them for town inside say Charlie, like some better thing they go on. But dude, there's nothing that says we are hosting African Olympics. Like the gravity and size of this thing, where you have up to 50 nations coming into the country to come and compete, and there's no advertisement, there's no dude, and that's one of my issues when it comes to tournaments like this, because the social media team and things like that should not be handled by people that are 60 years old and 50 that are lost in times, that don't know the new methods of getting out information. Like it doesn't appear like there's any sort of I fear giveaway. Like I'm afraid of well, we're already embarrassing ourselves worldwide, but I don't see anything. There's so much money to be made, even by promoting this thing worldwide. You can have people from other countries, other African countries, come and watch the games. You can boost tourism. People to go get them. I guess them lodges and things, make people stay inside. Like why? There's nobody thinking.
I don't know.
It
I don't.
almost feels as though there's nobody thinking.
I honestly don't know why. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I honestly don't know why we are here now and people are still wasting their. Why are you wasting your emotions on Ghana? Like, honestly, I don't get it. Why are you saying you're honestly scared? You're honestly disappointed? No, we are the epitome of disappointment. Like, I think I always keep on saying that we have gotten to a point where everybody should accept, like, just think of the West. Don't think anything good is ever going to come out of this, like, this political terrain and everything. Like, look, we were given a break. This thing was supposed to happen last year. It didn't happen this year. 5 days before, we are still not prepared. Even the road that they were making noise about, that they even spoke about in 2020 in their manifesto when they were trying to win, that they were the road they were doing, that one is still not completed. Like, there's a saying that they say, when you talk to a kid in the room and he doesn't listen, you bring it out for everyone to know. That is Ghana. International shame is what is international shame is what helps us. That is what look. All this myth about Ghana, I wanted to be dispelled. I want people to know who we are as a nation and where we are. All this facade.
Currently.
Yeah, like all this facade that's been going on, that people have some perception about Ghana. Look, like, do you know how terrible, like, this look is? You can't even manage Africa. You can't even manage Africa. We had an episode here where after the World Cup, we were saying, do we ever think an African country can host
hosted,
was it a World Cup or something like that? And we
debated
debated about it. I regretted debating that. We should have said no and just left it there. Look, Benjamin is talking about press box, the bare minimum. Oh, I was listening to you guys talk. I think I was off by you guys. I was listening to all what you were saying, and you guys are concerned about why are they not doing it in just Accra? How would they do it just Accra? How would they get their money? How would they be corrupt? They have to spread it across and give it different figures. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you people are looking at it this way. Do you get it? It is not about our interest. Our politicians have a way of looking people on boards look terrible and look inept. But that is not the case. The people that have been appointed can do the job. But without money, can you do the job? Do you get it? They put you in positions where you are going to be the one that you're going to be the poster boy of shame. Our journalists here, other countries will not blame Akufo-Addo and his government. They will blame the journalists that I came to your country and you weren't prepared. Because to them, you guys are the mouthpiece and you should have ensured everything. But it's not your fault. You've done what you can do. But we know how they are. Me, this thing I knew it would be a failure. And I'm not surprised it's going to be a failure. Because the thing is that
we don't start yet.
Look,
we don't start
forget.
Yet.
Forget. Sometimes you can see
Charlie.
from the beginning. Let me tell you that. Look, if you never ever do.
So what? If this be, you will come back and talk to you. Yeah, me. We try.
I am in a win-win situation. I'm in a win-win situation. If he be, he had to be. If he not be, business as usual. I have nothing to lose. Because you can't tell me $43 million and you are telling me that this is the best you can do. You see, we have the tendency of mentioning money like
43 million is.
We don't respect money. Look, we don't respect money. You have
that's one to know half of Anthony.
Look, yeah, like almost half of 100 million.
That's about half a billion.
Half a billion. Yeah, sorry.
That'll be operational expenses, so not the whole tournament.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have a tendency of just mentioning money. Like, do you know how many years you have to be on air to even see $1 million in your account? I always say they need to break these things down for the layman to understand that what these niggas are doing to us is not fair, because we literally came off AFCON. Ivory Coast gave a budget. People doubted it. We saw the preparation. We saw everything, and we're like, nobody gives a fuck how much they used. It was a success. It was beautiful. Everything went on well. Can you hit your chest and say that, KO, even though it hasn't started right, do you think we are going to achieve that? I don't need to see to know that, bro. We are already starting from a terrible tangent. That's what KO. I'm surprised KO is saying that if it be, I can't change my mouth. All the money they spend, why not for me? I was like, look, how you know for me? Because look, we have like I was watching on Twitter and I saw a tweet from one of the journalists. The Algerian team and some other team landed in Ghana. They look like tourists. They were received like they were just coming to do interco. Like there was nothing at stake. Like it was business as usual. They were just coming in and going like the way. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Let's maybe talk about that stupid mascot over there. Even the mascot saved the hung. That stupid mascot over there saved the hung.
Bad.
Let me just come in here. Kudos, but maybe I just come in here. So you know the mascot you're talking about. Corey was asking about if there's any indicator to show you that there's something happening. The mascots be like the lone striker. So if you know it's not. If the mascot,
they get service. They get service.
If the mascot they play one top in this situation, so if I don't go inside for him too much, that's the mascot they're using to like rally everything out, and it'd be crazy. Like, look, I'd say that look, the marketing and branding thing, right? I think it's an African thing because, like you mentioned, I'll give you 3 examples. So I've done an AFCON in Cameroon, I've done an AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, and then I've done the World Cup. Now, when you get to Cameroon, when we go to Cameroon during the World Cup, guy, there's nothing to show that there's an AFCON happening in this country. Like even like with regards to health protocols and stuff like that, it's like some people are doing it, some people are not doing it, and that's crazy because this is like immigration and this is the entry point into your country. So that was kind of shocking for me. The branding was just completely non-existent for Cameroon. If you go to promotions for Cote d'Ivoire as well, I think Cote d'Ivoire were also really bad with promotion. I mean, what worked for them is that the football was great, and so the football made up for everything else. And then the stadia as well. The stadia and then the soft work in between. Like I say, transporting fans, transporting journalists, moving people around. Can you believe that there's a point, I did the trip into Cote d'Ivoire by road. When we got there, we had to wait at the point of the border because the country is taking such an interest that you're driving almost 3 hours from the Elubu border into Abidjan, and it's almost rainforest all the way through. And so it's dangerous ground. So we have to wait for a National Guard to come and lead us all the way 3 hours through. I mean, that's like,
oh, wow.
A country that's serious about like a competition. So they did those little things well. Their branding and visibility, though, were not the best. And then I gave you the Qatar example. Again, look, you can say that it's money that makes these things happen. That'd be true. But you can make an effort. I mean,
43 million.
You see,
trying to burn 43 million for personal expenses. It should be painted, yeah.
Benjamin, you see, me, I don't even want to talk about money because money is available for things to be done well. I don't think it's even an African thing because I don't have experience like you. You have experienced other tournaments in other countries and all those, right? But me, I would rather even we not even compare ourselves to. Let's not even bring Qatar in this conversation. Let's not even bring Qatar in it because prior to the AFCON being, prior to us starting the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, right? At least we saw the roads they are done. We saw the stadium. We saw things like that. We're saying that, oh, Charlie, how can these guys have this? We don't have this and all those. Like we saw it. Forget marketing.
Lord, I see what you have done for others.
You understand? Yes, we forget marketing because people went before the tournament started. So they saw what they had done. They documented it and all those things. I am telling you that right now, some of the portals leading to Lagos, they've not patched them. Some of the roads are
for the
bad.
Traffic light there.
Exactly.
I can testify.
You understand? Like we are seeing that there are some places that should have been done well. Some roads should have been done well. And since put in place Keke, Keke.
It's actually rich of you to think that Ghana will be doing roads for a tournament or a competition.
And that is why I'm saying it never go good for we, you know. That's why I'm saying it never go good for we. Because, like, when the boxers were being camped in Cape Coast, you should see what they were eating. You see what they were feeding them. So kabo, no balanced diet. So kabo, no proper food, nothing. Like, you should have seen the buses that transported them. If you go and talk, they'll say it's Black Stars. I was there when the coach of the boxing team was asking some of the organizers that, we get money for one pocket table. I was literally standing there. But when these people go and take the nation high, that's when sports minister and things will pose with them and take pictures. Yeah, Ghana for getting people external support that is pushing them, that is actually making them get there. These niggas are amateurs for crying out loud. You are telling me that you have a operational cost of 43 million and you can't even give them balanced diet. You can't even take proper care of them. Like, you can't even put them in the best conditions. There are so many things that I literally can't say on the pod that I have witnessed just for this, and it's been terrible.
I think you need to say them.
Oh, some of the things there, if I talk, it go worry my boy. You understand? So I don't want you understand, because bro, like I have been around them. The day they were even moving to Cape Coast, I was at the stadium with them. I saw a lot of things that was going on. Even their training before. Oh my God. Charlie, like, see, make I tell you something.
I mean, I'm happy that Crack is actually seeing all of these things up front, because sometimes when journalists talk about these things, it sounds exaggerated. Like sometimes, like basic.
It is never exaggerated. It's never because when you're close to it,
tomorrow, it's hard for these people.
When you're close to it, like Smiley, I go send you some of the screenshot of the kind of messages that they get. Like, it be serious. So
put the group inside.
I go to put the group inside. Like, see. Look, Charlie.
My mom won't breathe.
No, it's sad though. It's painful.
We've projected ourselves.
We've
projected ourselves.
No,
they say we are the Black Stars of Africa. We are the stars of Africa. But we're lying. Like, we are not even there. We assume. Forget the star. We are black.
They never shine.
Forget the star. Because we are black.
Never go shine. I feel you. Anybody get anything else talk about Africa games? If we talk about the weekend's results, then Champions League way they come up in a week, because I think United played today, Chelsea played yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yesterday.
Right. Arsenal is supposed to play tomorrow, and then Liverpool also played yesterday too as well. Charlie, this Premier League race, I mean, depending on the result tomorrow, 63, 62, 61. That's if Arsenal win tomorrow. It's at home too. You would expect them to win, but
it's away. It's a Bramall Lane.
Oh, as a Bramall Lane. Oh,
yeah.
Small job. Corey, why the fear?
Charlie, me the way the Premiership
go. I small job last season though.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Me, like I can't defend it, because like as soon as people start taking hits at Arsenal, you can't really defend it because you haven't won anything to shut them out. Like, as much as people say Arteta they try and all those things, like until you actually win that major trophy, that narrative is never gonna go away. They're just gonna keep feeding into it, keep tapping into it. So Charlie, they can say what they want until he wins the thing. I don't have any rebuttal.
Okay. All right. So I'll just quickly go through the results so that we can pick some and then just dissect it quickly. So starting us off from yesterday, Newcastle hosted Wolves. Newcastle won that 1-3-0. It was a London debut, Spurs and Crystal Palace. The new manager bounce seems to have stopped. And Postecoglou beating Gressler at the Tottenham Stadium 3-1. Liverpool leaving it late at Forest. Charlie, if I say this thing don't pay me,
leaving it late,
bro, The death.
The living in bits you talk, it frustrates me small because if you pass late,
No. You people. If Freddie come this thing top, okay, fine. I get Ben for here. The goal should the goal have stood?
Oh, they're going to be clean goal.
Mike.
They're going to be clean goal.
Okay,
Mike.
Hold on, the Nunez goal?
Yeah, the Nunez goal.
Oh, bro, it'd be clean goal. Come on. Come on. I mean,
my issue is the time.
Come on. I mean, listen, as for time issues, it's neither here nor there. It benefits everybody one time or the other. What they happen to say, you don't expect the referee to like blow his whistle when there's an attacking sequence happening. I mean,
we see that before.
I've seen some before.
No, but that's an outline. This is like referees who are thinking normally. Like, they know they do those kind of Simon Hooper things. Like if the ball they in sequence, if we make the play end, and I think that's what happened for Liverpool. I mean, when they can't win title, this is some of the things that happen. Really, yesterday's game was a really poor game. Chance creation was like literally non-existent. But I think that they've done this last-minute thing enough this season to not waver when they're under pressure like most teams. So it's like there's this unshakable belief, say, we will score you, like regardless of how much time is left on the clock. And I think that when you're going to win a championship, those kind of things help. A couple of players in this team have won the COVID Cup. I'm not too big on that COVID title because, I mean, empty stadium and things like that. The vibes is not there. So it'll be something that they hype plenty. But like championship DNA is championship DNA. Once you earn it, it stays with you. And I think it's one of those things that has helped Liverpool like drive the past couple of weeks because injury hits, youngsters come in, you feel like there's no change to the system, intensity is maintained, and you need these kind of things. Like you need like the veteran guys to like push the younger ones and say, Charlie, this thing you go feed do, you go feed day. So as for the Nunez goal, it'd be really legit. Liverpool just need to make sure that when City come to town, the needful will be done. So there's that.
I did want to touch on that because I mean people want to credit it to Charlie Klopp's farewell tour. So right now everyone is galvanized to perform at a very high level and so on and so on. But I think aside that, what he has actually done is impressive, and it shows in the teams which are performing now because you have a Liverpool, you have a City, you have an Arsenal where injury can hit, form could play a factor, but then the mentality doesn't change. It kind of spreads throughout the whole team, and if you have the fans who are on their neck, who are the 12th man or so, they will drive them forward. And I mean, you can even if I link it to United like this, United could set up tactically to nullify a City, to nullify an Arsenal, to nullify a Liverpool, but then they have been missing something very crucial in putting the team together. I think it's a mentality thing. It may not even be concentration or anything because, bro, if everybody know where everybody did, I'm about if you make that mistake, somebody immediately they cover them because you are coming into the game. You're not caught up to the rhythm of the game yet.
Really live some memories. I see the memories pass through and it's like shake out small.
So and I think what Club 2 has done should be commended because aside bringing in youngsters, the mentality which exists in that dressing room would go right through from the first team all the way up until the reserves, so that if any other coach comes, regardless of tactics, if we believe in each other to be able to do a job. I mean, we are yet to see how that will translate when he actually leaves and someone comes in. Everyone's saying Alonso and whatever, but then you have to also take into account those things. The mentality plays a huge part into how a team is galvanized and to be able to perform week in, week out. Arsenal had a bit of a dip in December, but then they've been there before to say that, listen, we are not going to repeat the same thing again. And we hope to see, a win tomorrow just so that the league will be excited. It'll be a 3-horse race. I don't think we've had that in quite a while.
Do what will make this shit real good? City for beat Liverpool for Anfield. Where Arsenal for beat City for Etihad. That'll be when this thing goes sweet. Then when the title race goes nice.
No, but you see, like as you say, Hill, they give more props to Arsenal, even Liverpool. So I think there's enough time for a collapse to happen from one of the teams. And I think I don't think this will be a three-horse race all the way through. I think that the heat will be too much for somebody at a point. By 5 games to go, somebody would have dropped along the road, and then we'll see who the real contenders are. So there's still enough time to determine that.
for sure.
As for Liverpool, I just feel like you're saying, I think it's a myriad of factors. Klopp leaving is one. I feel like they also feel like they've let themselves down a couple of times. I mean, missing out on the title by a slender margin. I know some Liverpool fans try to make it look like because you entered the upper echelons of 90 points, it's something to celebrate. There's nothing. I mean, you don't win anything. I'm sure in a couple of years, nobody will even remember that these people put up those points. So they have a lot to play for. Hopefully, Salah comes back. They get a couple of the more important players back into this fold so they can make this final match a good one. That City Liverpool game, I feel like will have a good bearing on the title because Man City have entered that zone where I don't think they'll lose a lot more matches for the season ends. They'll probably win like 11 or 10 out of 12 of the matches they have left. And so whichever match they have against any of their title contemporaries will be really important. So I really have my eye on that game. And most of the time, I think the last 2 episodes of those games I've watched, like there was so much tension in like the games, the teams could barely think straight tactically. So I feel like we are in for something like that when it comes to the Anfield episode. That should be a good one.
I think one thing I'll say is that City this season, they haven't been too good against the traditional top 6 with the exception of Man United. Man United, we know they add them to certain things of late. So, yeah, I think this season they've not beaten any, or it's either they've not beaten any of them or some very, very strange.
United actually.
Yeah, only United. And like I said, United, yeah, we know they add them to
something. Shall I make a Jada Jersey self cry? No need.
I don't know why you were.
I get small vim today. Oh. I get some small vim.
Okay. If anybody has a solution to what's going on with them with regards to the big matches, it's been puzzling for me personally. I have a few theories. I mean, I think that for a lot of those games have been closer than your usual games, and then they had closest in those games. I mean, Gundogan does a good job of closing out games. That's the impact you suffer when you lose a player like that. Rodri has come up big in the past couple of games for them, but how much more can you ask for from your defensive midfielder to rescue games for you?
Pep has John Stones in the box receiving balls like he's a striker. I see. Exactly. Say John Stones they join the attack. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yeah, exactly. So some of those is, I mean, outlier tactical decisions, I think, have caused the team because look, the games, the 4-4, especially against Chelsea, the first leg, I thought that was absolute madness. Like there was no tactical structure to a Guardiola team. I was watching, I'm asking myself for 90 minutes, when is it going to change? And so I've really been shocked by some of the results they've put out there. They've not had the same air of confidence around them. You know, a lot of the times I compare this team sometimes with the Pep Guardiola Barcelona teams, where sometimes you feel defeated before you actually step onto the pitch. You know you're about to participate in the match. You know you're not walking away with any result. They don't have that same air about them this season, and it showed again even today in the first half against United. In the first 45 minutes, if Rashford, hadn't gotten overexcited by his opening goal, I feel like he would easily have had a hat-trick or even 2 goals at least. And then the complexion of this game would have been way different. But
the margins,
you get
margins.
Yeah, exactly. Very slim margins.
Mentality. No day there.
Yeah. And I feel like even at 1-0, City knew that these people will score them. Like these people, they don't even get them. Like we will score them. Yeah. And that's literally the mentality that you're talking about. So the mentality there, I feel like in the next 4 or 5 weeks, it really go kick in because a lot of teams have their season defining stretches coming up. I have my eyes on Arsenal because a lot of people are saying Arsenal have turned the corner. Turn the corner, come turn some phrase for this downside. They say Arsenal. I want to see if Arsenal really turn the corner or not because I noticed the Saliba-Gabriel partnership be really tight. I mean, best defense in the league now as compared to this point last season, I mean, it's very easy to compare the impact. So we won't see if they really go feel hold up, especially on the offensive side. Everybody say Arsenal needs striker. They no buy striker. They go on this crazy goal scoring run. Can you really show up when it really matters against the teams that matter?
This season they have them. So far, they have.
I mean, yeah, so far so good. So far so good. I'll give that to them. So far so good.
All right. I think we'll close out with Champions League matches for the
City
week.
has been so bad that we're actually thinking of a 3-horse race. That's crazy. It's always almost like a 2-horse race. And then, the last 10 matches, then that's when it's 1-horse race. Even though one person is following, you know who is going to end up at the finish line regardless. But this time, because yesterday in the morning we were playing football, one of the guys was like, he's going to bet, right? The City United match. He's going to do go. And I was like, Rasmus is not playing, right? And he was like, oh yeah, City will always concede. And actually, Peter was like, City's clean sheet this season has been a problem. Like, they've not really defended well. They've not kept clean sheets. Like, some of the wins, they've actually struggled to win. Even though they are playing well, there are still holes in the team. You can still attack them. You have the confidence knowing that, bro, you attack City and you can score. That aura of invisibility is not there. So that's why. So I was like, that's why either Arsenal or Liverpool, they actually do have a chance. Because, as you said, City haven't really been well. They've actually not played well against the big teams this season, which is really worrying because they face team, either they go down, even when they score, like the team comes back and there is hope, and they don't put teams away like they used to, unless, I mean, the mid-table teams, yeah, that's normal. But even in the big matches, in the first 15 matches, in the first 15 minutes, they are open. You can score them, they can concede. Like, they look fragile. They are missing something because there's Rodri in the middle and there's De Bruyne back, but City doesn't look like a team that is going to go on that 15 to 16 games unbeaten, like record like they used to do. It's like they look
like last season.
they look very, very vulnerable this season. So I mean, but then I wanted to ask Smiley or Kyo this question, right? Would you rather Arsenal or Liverpool win the title?
Oh, Jesus.
This question is actually very easy for me, even though people think it's hard. It'd be very simple. Arsenal. Like, it'd be so straightforward for me. Arsenal, the only reason why United fans don't want Arsenal to win the league is because Arsenal fans, they ball. And I think of all the other fans in the league, it's Arsenal fans who we dislike the most, even more than Liverpool fans, more than Chelsea fans. United fans and Arsenal fans, the friction, it'd be very deep. So we just don't like them. And Arsenal fans, like, yeah, generally then the ball. Liverpool fans, like, I don't think we have enough Liverpool fans for it to touch. Maybe the ones in England, it'd be different.
Yeah, that
for
one
them.
yeah.
Yeah, but for us in the diaspora, like it'd be like, for me, the reason why it's straightforward is because if Man City win the league, that's Fergie. Already Pep has equaled Fergie's 3-peat. He's equaled the treble. Now you won't make it over the 3-peat, come do 4-peat. Like, it's unimaginable for me. Like, I don't want to think about it.
Oh no, me, I'm not even putting. I'm not putting City in the bracket. I did these two.
Yeah,
but
generally, a lot of United fans over the past few years, then they prefer say City go win the league than other teams because it's like City, they don't get fans, they don't really care. But honestly, me, that's in there, they touch me if they win them. So right now, Pep already equal the 3-peat. They can't do the treble already. He can't do 4-peat. That's one of Fergie's biggest achievements. They come over. And then on the other hand, if Liverpool win it, they are coming to match us on the 20. So it means everything that Fergie has worked for, it disintegrates within like 15 years after his.
I don't buy that, because let me tell you why.
He did it first.
Fergie won 13 titles, right? To knock Liverpool off their perch. Liverpool won a title after 30 years. Even if they match us 20, nobody is touching Fergie. Trust me. Like what Fergie did there, Fergie will forever be the godfather. Liverpool can be 20, but I'll ask you, which Liverpool coach or number of Liverpool coaches in the morning era that have won 13 titles? There are so many arguments we can go against them that I don't mind. But personally, you there, let's KO finish before I give my opinion. KO.
No, I mean, Arsenal. I'd rather prefer Liverpool to win it. As compared to Arsenal. Charlie, it be. But yeah, you will see the work. You will see the work we then put into him and trying to get there. Arsenal fans speak like it's their God-given right. Like they have been there because they get one golden trophy. That be them my own. It be them my 10. And like, how dare anyone try and challenge them to the 10? Like, it speaks about the type of club that they are. Yeah, they will feel win them. They'll win them from time to time. But then Papa say the figure say it be them my own that they constantly have to win there. Nah, I'd rather prefer any other team to win.
And that's the thing about me, because the Liverpool one and the City one, for me, they are tangible things that they can achieve in terms of matching the 20 and then over doing the 4-peat. The Arsenal one will be more about like street bragging rights. Like I don't in the end, yeah, it go bore. Like I will go off social media for like a month or so. But then in the end, the noise go drown out. But for me, the actual till now the treble Man City do the pay me. Till now the treble they pay me pass. Like
we know. But let me tell you something. Right? I know when we're predicting, right? I predicted Arsenal win the as I said, I did with my head and not my heart. But then that's how against goes, because as it's going, then you are wishing failure on them. That fuck my prediction. I'm nobody. It shouldn't count to pass. Smiley.
I've been money no data. That's
Smiley.
Why.
I understand all you said. I've understood what you said with rivalry, matching this, matching that. But still, nobody's touching Fergie. Let me tell you something. Arsenal winning this alone is worth 20 years of their pain. You don't get it, eh? These niggas, when they win this, you can never talk shit to them for the next 30 years. Banter era is supposed to continue forever till our grandchildren come. That is how deep.
Agenda master agenda.
It's not fun, eh? They are emotional. They are delusional. Look, they are annoying. And when they are in agony, it gives me joy. Up till now, the enjoyment will still be there. Look, when these guys win, they're going to release a music video.
Facts.
Look, they're going to bring all their old players.
They will do New Jersey.
Look,
they will make sure they get the golden everything.
Bro,
we go close. See, Arsenal win that one time.
You don't get it, Smiley.
20 years.
There's more to it than just tradition and rivalry. You don't get it. The one closest to where you go worry if you fail. You are talking about COVID Cup. I mean, Benjamin was saying that he doesn't really rate it. But let me tell you something. They still won it regardless. We still don't have enough of Liverpool fans.
Coach me.
You understand? We still don't have enough of Liverpool fans that are going to bother me. I don't care. Because Liverpool fans can laugh at me because whatever they won, I've also won multiple times. They can match it. I don't care. It took them 30 years to win 2 titles to match it. I don't care. Ferguson came. In how many years he won 13 league title, which was like what 65% win rate when it comes to the Premier League era. Nobody's matching that because Pep will go before he matches that. But if Arsenal wins, Arsenal can look at you and tell you that they are unbeaten, that they are a golden trophy is better than any trophy in your cabinet, and you think these people are not delusional enough? You want them to win, guys? Oh my God!
Charlie.
Nah, bro. Forget.
Charlie.
Let's move on. Forget.
Charlie, we for say goodbye to Ben. He forgot TV talk, so we will wrap up with Champions League. I don't know if Ben, you have anything you want to plug before You will
Not
feel it.
really. I mean, I just love the opportunity to be on the platform, Charlie. It'll be you guys will link me a lot more. Make we chat. I mean, not
Oh,
African games per se, more Premier
oh,
League
nah, nah, nah,
related
nah, nah,
stuff.
Oh
nah,
yeah,
nah,
I
nah,
yeah,
want
nah.
to
Oh,
We
yeah,
did for
expand
yeah,
my
you.
yeah.
We
mind
we
did
deep.
for
did for
you.
you.
So, bless up for the invitation. Just hit me up again. Make I come through some other time.
All right, Charlie,
Okay.
bro, bless. Thank you, Charlie. Guys, as always, Benjamin Nketsia.
Appreciate it. Until
Charlie, all right, you make we wrap up with Champions League, then we go closer because the week there they can't start heavy. Tuchel, you guys have already spoken about Tuchel's resignation, so the conversation must be had heading into this return leg at home, right? Who is he motivating to go and win this thing for him? Because it's
Dude,
like, Charlie, my legacy for here be like a tarnish. Not be like say
it's
I do
German.
anything like what am I really working for? The next job. Like you already know I'm a talented coach, but it's like the structures in place are buying it's not what has been for at least 2 years or so. You know, there's been a lot of reshuffling up there. I mean, it's a home game. It's a chance to play in front of your fans so that you can try and get a result because it's a slender result coming back to the Allianz Arena. So I don't know if you got, Corey, you would like touch on why
He,
why he will give a fuck.
he wouldn't. Like they're already saying you lose this game and you're done.
I'm already leaving end of the season.
No, but they said no. Like the end of the season is far. Like if you can't win this game, then just get out.
So
Like Fabrizio can't talk. I think this afternoon or yesterday or something that if he doesn't win the Champions League game, he's out. And I'm like, how do you expect somebody to work under these conditions? Like, make you told me if you don't succeed in the next thing, you're out. I'm already going. You already sacked me in 3 months. So. Like in 3 months, I don't say I'm out of the job. Look, when I go and tell the stand in front of the players, I saw the video that Kawa posted to the German team that they were getting dressed down by their manager on the field with the full stadium.
Darmstadt.
Then they dressed them down after like
the
some
ultra,
6-0 loss.
no, yeah.
Bro, Tuchel does not have that kind of energy. Bro, what am I telling you? That guy has a better team talk than Tuchel. Charlie, guys, if you go out, try your best and see how you can feel with the game. The fans out there, you know, they really care about what you guys are doing. So try. He go talk. Who's motivated by that? Kane, you already knows he's not the win trophy. He's resided to. So what the like, bro? To be honest, I would like for them to.
So he don't win any Super Cup or something.
No.
They lost
He
the Super
went
Cup,
there
the
3
Germans.
days. He went there 3 days and they lost the cup. He went there. They said he was fit 3 days and he lost the cup. Me, honestly, I would want Bayern out because Bayern, no matter what, he be buying. Like they're buying.
I mean, this is Lazio is a sorry, so I don't know. Might not be the highest scoring game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'd rather face Sarri than face Bayern and Tuchel.
Okay.
Like it's just what it is.
Smiley, one
For
comment.
My thing is like I still don't understand what they were hoping to achieve when they did this whole Tuchel thing, like the whole he's leaving at the end of the season, because that thing will never make sense to me, unless it's like a situation like Klopp where that one he's leaving on his own terms, and you're trying to give him a proper send off. That one it makes sense. But when you tell me that at the end of the season we'll go, like what effect? I don't know whether maybe you were trying to do this reverse psychology thing on the squad, where they think that this announcement will release the pressure on them. Something like that. I don't know.
Galvanize the boys.
It will galvanize the boys. Maybe
They'll
start fighting for them.
That is Enoa. That's what I wanted to say. Enoa. That's what they were going for. That is what they were going for. Because they were doing the thing like, sorry to cut you, but they were doing the thing like, the coach is not going to be here, so some of you are playing for your future. So right now, show what you got to do.
Like that.
It's on you
exactly
now.
What
that is what they want to do. That is exactly what they want.
Like the Xavi one, for example, my conspiracy theory be say they didn't actually plan on letting him go. That one, it was similar to this one. That one was more like they thought that if if he manages to turn things around, because they didn't want him to continue the rest of the season facing this pressure where after every bad result, then they say Xavi must go, Xavi must go. So if they announce that he's leaving at the end of the season, then it will release all the pressure. Then if somehow he manages to turn things around, then they go announce, say, okay, I'm not going after all.
He's unfinished.
Yeah,
unfinished things
business.
do.
Yeah, but Tuchel's one, I feel like they actually wanted to sack him, but they also wanted to have that reverse psychology effect on the team, and it didn't happen. So right now, I feel like Kane actually be the only person who is fighting for something right now, because everybody in the squad wins something. It became where it really need and it will be very embarrassing for him if he finishes the season without any trophy, because then he might as well have spent his final year at Spurs and go to Bayern for free. So yeah,
but I actually think Bayern will win the second leg. I think they will win the second leg. I watch the first leg.
Will.
Yeah, they will actually smack. They'll actually smack Lazio. Like
They definitely will.
I watched the first leg, and even though they might not have played, but they were still unlucky with that idiot of a defender over there. But yeah, but I think they're actually going to. I think they're actually going to win the second leg. I think they're going to win the second leg, and this guy is going to back 2 goals.
Staying with people who will be leaving the club soon. Mbappe was also on his farewell tour. So heading into the second leg this week, going to Spain. I think the last time that they were in Spain, that's when they faced Barcelona in that Champions League knockout tie. And we all know what that happened. So they have another lead heading into this knockout tie. Predictions that they progress, because then they play Sociedad. Not be like say Sociedad they play the best ball, but as you can see in Europe, if you're not mentally up for it, those home games can provide be pivotal.
First of all, the farewell tour part be like Luis Enrique won't spoil him for him, because he said
because every day small time no bench.
Yeah, go make him live on his own terms. He go start bench him, because he said they will prepare for life after him. But yeah, Spanish teams generally, like, they are the ones who I hate facing in European football. Like, they just have that thing about them. I don't know what it is about them, whether they are just better than everyone else who they see or something. But no matter who it is, Spanish teams will give you tough time. And PSG, if they don't manage to sort things out, because they are not playing the best of football. I just say, even in Liga, they're not playing the best of football. I just say they have better players than everyone else. So, but it be potential banana skin. But I think they'll go through somehow.
Okay. Wrap up with Madrid.
PSG are going home.
Charlie, you did. Why? Okay. Because they go play for Spain, or was?
Oh, I said they are going home.
Okay. So last 2 matches this week in the Champions League anyway will be Madrid and Leipzig. Madrid winning at the RBL Stadium 2 weeks ago, 1-0, and then City Copenhagen. City, nobody said that they demolished we, so they're playing at home. I don't think it to be any long thing, seeing that they are leading 3-1. But Madrid and Leipzig could be a tricky match, but you never know. You guys get anything that you want to talk? I think we can close up for the evening. We're done. All right, guys. If you haven't already, please follow the YouTube channel, Charlie. This is why we go get new mic centers. We trying to get the cameras up. my man, this is forward.
See, even if you be podcast person, you only listen to the audio. Just subscribe to the YouTube for. I beg.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we the short sentences we could put them out. TikTok too. We'll try put that thing out.
Then for subscribe, because every time they try bring new headband and things for them, they can't look there make big. So then for subscribe.
One thing about this, Charlie, the wardrobe, bro. Shirts wear me. I don't wear for anywhere. The Charlie,
and I wear for them. People don't go subscribe.
Next week I'll wear suit.
By the Champions League final. If we ever enter Champions League final again, I not say you wear suits. Like you
Oh,
can't do
of course.
pressa.
Hey, if football managers say they wear suits for fiber, then this one
Bruh.
Yeah, we're trying to get our content game up, so you guys please follow the YouTube page, interact, like, comment, subscribe. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. ATW dominates the conversation.